Theresa May has told her cabinet it must quickly get to grips with the rail disruption, which has caused misery for thousands of passengers. Transport Secretary Chris Grayling is facing calls to resign over the problems, which began after the introduction of new train timetables. Meantime, newspapers across the north of England joined forces today to call on Mrs May to address the situation on the railways. Some 25 titles call for an emergency summit in Downing Street to find a solution. They say the recent chaos has made a mockery of government promises to prioritise infrastructure for cities in the north. Live to our central London studio and speak to Manchester Evening News Editor-in-Chief, Darren Thwaites. Hello to you, Darren. Thanks for joining us. What's going on? What's the problem?
Hello, Kay. Yeah, we're just fed up with a second-class transport service for the north. And the catalyst for that has been the fiasco of the Northern Rail timetable changes. And our readers, our commuters in the north, are fed up. We need action. So our publishers have come together, publishers of different groups across the north, representing towns and cities, millions of commuters, and we're saying that enough is enough.
OK, you see, I've always thought that it was a very good service that on the northwestern side of the country, you know, you can get to Wigan in 2 hours, you can get to the Lake District in 2.5, so a little bit less. So, but what's happened? Why has it all gone so terribly wrong?
The problem is the timetable changes, and in terms of journeys from Wigan, for instance, into Manchester, the number of cancelled trains, the delays, the standard of the trains, simply not good enough. We've been live blogging today, and the feedback that we've had and had now for several weeks is it's not good enough. And we feel that the government is stifling the economic fight back of the north by not allowing us to have the infrastructure that we need. The government needs to act on this. OK, so what do you want them to do? Well, first of all, fix the current fiasco, the crisis with Northern Rail, compensate fairly, but it goes beyond that as well. This is about fairness of transport funding. Transport funding per head is 3 times greater in the south than the north. That needs to be addressed, and the transport schemes promised for the north need to be given priority now. Instead, we hear about £16 billion investment in Crossrail 2. We've got electrification schemes in the north delayed now by a collective total of 14 years. We need fairness for the north. OK, so that's going to take time. You know, infrastructure takes time to build, doesn't it? Is that what you're saying? Is it the infrastructure issues, or is it something much more readily fixable than that? I think there's clearly short-term fixes in terms of the Northern Rail situation, and the compensation surrounding that. Beyond that, though, we've been talking Northern Powerhouse for the last 4 years. It feels like words and not actions at the moment. And what we would say from the north is that we're full of creative, talented, hard-working people, and we just want the infrastructure to allow us to reach our potential in the north economically. Yeah, and we want fairness. Yeah, I mean, it's some of those that are actually operating the service, though, isn't it? I mean, we've seen what's happened on the East Coast main line, and it's just the government it has been underwriting that because it's just not run properly. I think it's a combination of franchisees over-promising and under-delivering, but ultimately that responsibility lies with government. It's also about investment through Network Rail in the infrastructure, and again, responsibility lies with government. Our view is the government has not treated this seriously enough, and we need action now to prove that they care about the north. I'm coming up to Wigan on Thursday. Is my train going to be all right? I wouldn't like to guarantee that, but yeah, welcome back to the northwest. That's very kind of you. Hopefully I'll see you there. It's good to talk to you, Darren. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Still